intertwined. Love, family, and faith in every line. From kin to companions in the moment so rare. We pluck the heartstrings with the stories we share. About faith, we talking about friends, we talking about family. We talking about life, we talking about love, we talking about our heartstrings. We talking about faith, we talking about friends, we talking about family. We talking about life, we talking about love, we talking about our heartstrings.
Welcome back to the Heartstrings podcast.
Welcome. Good to see. Boy, you looking mighty fine today.
Boy, I ain't gonna talk about how fine you looking right now. Woo! Okay.
Why do I
I
look
think
fine
you should give me
today?
a kiss first. Okay.
Why do I look fine today? Because y'all let your brother put this black, like, I ain't got no gray hair.
Well, you got a little gray right there.
I look distinguished.
Come on,
Did you put the little
distinguished.
black around?
Shout out to my brother Tim.
Do I look a few years younger?
Officer, sergeant. Is he a sergeant?
Sergeant, soon to be
Sergeant Tim
lieutenant.
Crawford.
Soon to be lieutenant.
Oh, wow.
If he gets his act together.
Okay.
Pass it. So let's go, Officer Tim Crawford.
Yes, thank you, Tim, for spiffing your brother up a little bit. Okay? We looking young and fly, and we matching today. You know I love to match.
Whose idea was it?
Yours. Bow out. Thank you for buying this for me.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Okay.
Shout out to the Dorseys for bringing it back from Florida.
Yes.
From the world.
I'm going to make sure these people see these episodes. We're giving them shout outs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, welcome back to the Heartstrings Podcast, episode 2 in this quarter. And
Season 2.
Season 2.
Episode
That's a
2.
good.
So, go ahead, babe. You look like you was on the floor, and
No, go
I
ahead.
cut you off already. You know, we are some interrupters. Go ahead,
We
babe.
have interruption syndrome
Continue your
in
flow.
this family. Okay? Do you all have interruption syndrome in your family? Where some of you are in the middle of a conversation, middle in the sentence. I said it so backwards.
That's good.
And what happens? Somebody's got to get their thought out.
You don't even remember what you were saying now, do you?
No.
Okay.
All right. So,
You know, we have yet to do a show on marriage. And marriage is what we do. We're all about family, all about all the latest things going on. We have yet to do a show about about marriage. And we just left our marriage getaway last month, our annual marriage getaway. This is year 26 for the getaway. Last year we had our big 25th anniversary. So this is year 26. How did you enjoy that year? How did the year look to you? Did it look nice?
let me tell you, it was the best year that we've had where I have felt the most relaxed. I'm going to tell you something else. I really gave this year to God. I was like, now, not that I don't every year, but like, I was like, let the chips fall where they may. Whoever's going to be there is going to be there. I trusted God for the speakers. They were absolutely amazing. And hopefully we'll have them to talk on our podcast. That would be amazing as well. But just to mention that the team was amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody flowed in their gifting. It was great. The guests, the first timers, everything was great, including my idea for the Chop Champion mystery fruit basket. But we talked about that already, so I won't bring it up again.
It was nice though.
So in the from the sound to the effects to the audio visual to the platinum plasma screens.
So usually after every marriage getaway, we get together with the kids and whoever else is with us.
And a team sometimes.
And the team, but first with the kids, our children, our married kids. And we do takeaways. What worked really well and what we think we could make better next year. So, give me one. Give me a favorite day, favorite activity, favorite time. I know what you're going to say.
What?
You're going to say Thursday night worship, wouldn't you? No?
Thursday night worship was absolutely incredible. All the worship, though, was incredible.
It was.
So I'm a worshiper. I could stay there. We could have a worship weekend. You know what I'm saying? We don't even have to do anything else. Worship with your spouse. Really, with you, not with your spouse. You're in the presence of the Lord. You know, you get yours, but I'm going to definitely get mine. And that's the whole thing, ain't it? You get yours, but I'm going to definitely get mine.
Right.
Okay. Marriage ministry.
So what was it? I was right?
Um,
Oh, you go
I
ahead.
think worship was great, but I think the gift was the breakout sessions. We got the most feedback from breakout sessions, literally. And this year, what we did was we had the men and women breakout, but we chose five of our uh, leaders, five people in leadership, and some of them were our guest speakers. And the five men went over to the women's session and sat on the panel, and the five women in leadership sat on the men's panel. And they were able to share their heart, answer questions. We had questions in a bowl, and it was just a phenomenal time. And the most feedback from the surveys that I got, they said that was ingenious because they felt like they were able to hear from a perspective, like women were able to hear from a men's perspective, women were able to hear from a men's perspective. Now, I did get some feedback over the weekend, and people are still talking about it, ranting and raving. But some people did feel like the men's session that there was some men that just kind of bashed, like just controlled the conversation. I don't know because I wasn't in there.
So no, I wouldn't say controlled, but there were some men that were very vocal about whatever issue they had. Women may not be used to that, but that's sometimes how men talk.
Well,
Talk
this
very
is from
direct.
another man.
I get well, okay. Well, I'm just saying that's sometimes how men talk. I am a good facilitator, so I'll never let anybody just take over my room. I'm going to cut you off and straighten it up or fix it if it
Right.
needs to be
We're
fixed.
both.
If it needs to be, sometimes somebody just really just needs to get it out.
Yeah.
You just need to get it out. The problem, I think, is some of the answers that were given, I don't know if they were necessarily received. Or I shouldn't say received. I don't know if that was the answer they were looking for.
Which means it wasn't received. It was probably kickback, right?
Right. But I mean, that's perfect normal thing. I mean,
You know what? In the women's session, though, we stuck to the questions and the answers were there. And I didn't really give many people opportunity. I didn't really give the women opportunity to answer. I wanted them to be on the receiving end, but that's just kind of way it flowed, and it was almost like they absorbed it like a sponge. So it was really good. But I'll say this: in every relationship, you should sit in front of a counselor where you can get both perspectives. I think that it's important, even if you just do one session, you don't have to have a therapist but sit in front of another couple who can give you wise counsel, husband and wife. Why? Because you'll hear from two different perspectives. Because sometimes it's hard, and I've heard this countless over the years, where couples are like, I really didn't care for that counselor because I felt like the woman was siding with the woman, or the man was siding with the other woman, or there was a connection there, and it left me out. And so I think that that's the gift of what we do, is that we do it together, and it gives people a different perspective.
right. And I've heard that the opposite way as well. Sometimes if it's a woman, the woman may feel like, oh, he just took his side. He's not really. Sometimes when you have two people counseling or coaching, giving you wise counsel, you get to hear from both sides.
Yeah.
Sometimes even in our counseling, we don't 100% agree with what's being said. And you have to carefully, we have to carefully agree to disagree, which is not always easy because you don't want to come off like we're disagreeing with each other.
Right.
But it's more of, well, let's look at it this way.
Right.
Well, let me give a different perspective
And how do
on
you
this.
do it? You usually say, well, babe, that's good, but let me add this.
You got to make it sound so harsh.
It was hard. You like,
But anyway, so that's why I think it's good to have wise counsel on both sides, if possible. It doesn't always work out that way, but if possible, that's always a way to get wise counsel. So I think for me, my favorite part of the weekend, that weekend. It's very hard to choose one because all the sessions were great. Every time we got together was good. I mean, we did an intimacy session, that was great. We did our circle of trust, where we just have couples come and they're just open about their own story, and they're just giving letting everybody know what their story is about, their journey and their walk. That was great. Then we went to Saturday. That was so powerful that we didn't even get through all of it because the Holy Spirit was moving. Sunday was at another level. The Saturday night dinner that we did with the Pettifords,
Couples Academy,
couples
shout
and
out. Phoenix Awards.
the Phoenix Awards was on another level. It was like the Oscars for married couples.
It was, right?
Yeah, and of course I'm always going to be a little partial to my AV people. We had
As you should.
the three big jumbo screens, the
You
lights, the room. I mean, the sound was kicking. Everything was perfect. People didn't know that was part of our production. They was like, "Oh man, we thought that you hired a bunch." I said, "Well, I did hire somebody. He just happens to be one of my good friends for over 20 some years, and he just really does an in-kind donation. You know, so all he asks for really is just enough to cover a few things, cover the rental of a truck if he's got to rent an extra truck, cover the extra guys that may have had to hire to set everything up, and that's really it. He really does it, and he's just a blessing to us.
Absolutely.
Dwayne Wood Sound,
Just Right
Sounds. In case you're in the Chicago area and you need somebody. So I mean, it was just really. This year was really great. Last year I thought was awesome.
Last year was awesome.
Because that was the first year that we did the Thursday night, which is just where couples can come and just really just worship without anything else going on.
Now, I do want to mention that, we get people that are familiar with the church, are born and bred, conceived in the church, and then you get people that from different denominations, like Catholic or Methodist, or some people
no
non-church.
Exactly.
Non-church. So worship was a little bit interesting for a few people, but I love the way Pastor John Jones, shout out to him and Rachel, that he explained it. Wherever you are, you can receive from God. And I think that it may have been new for some people, but because of the entire experience of the weekend, it just encapsulated where they could feel the love of God and the presence of God. And I think that, people don't have to show up for you. God can show up for you and prove himself. So by the end of that, they were like, this was really a great weekend. So that was good.
I agree. I forgot what I was going to say. I was thinking about a thought too.
Well, I know sometimes these phones are still going off even while we're in the midst of, we are still.
Well, I mean, phone's always going to ring.
Yeah, and we ignore them. But anyway, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say it was a really good week, and last year was the first year that we did just the worship. So we did it again this year. We did it in a kind of a round, worshiping around where they were
great.
On the same floor, same level, so everybody was really. It felt intimate.
Yeah.
And we didn't get any complaints.
300 people intimate.
We had 0 complaints about worship. Obviously, it wasn't that bad. Must have been something good.
No,
even for the ones who that may have been a complete new experience for them. I think they appreciated it.
Yeah. I just want to say that I'm grateful for the people that came to sow and speak. And when I say that, it doesn't mean that, we weren't to some type of blessing to them. But we had world-renowned speakers, and they came and just sowed, and they sold the ministry of what they had to offer. But they sacrificed other opportunities, number one. And then number two, they came and sold back into us. And they enjoyed the weekend as a married couple. And to me, that's what we ask for all the time. We say, we know you're one of our speakers, but we want you to be able to embrace the weekend. And if you can't come to nothing, this is your getaway. You know what I mean? Like, be intentional about enjoying yourself. Some of them took advantage of that.
So let's give a little information about where we were and all that good stuff.
We were at the Grand Geneva in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, and it was in November. I think it was the 7th through the 10th. Yes, the 7th through the 6th through the 9th. And it was, that's pretty much it. Grand Geneva at Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Right?
So registration is open for next year.
Oh, it absolutely is. And you'll be able to see it rolling across the screen.
You must think I got some technology skills. I could just roll that
Oh, I
right on
forgot we're
across.
not on my
But
platform.
I'm going to try. So if you see it rolling, you'll know that I figured it out. There you go.
But yeah, so next year registration is open, and we've extended early bird
What are the dates?
registration November the 5th through the 8th, and we've extended early bird registration to February 1st. So if you're watching this and you're a husband and wife that want to come and hang out with us, by all means, get yourself together. It's an experience of a lifetime. This year's theme is love and honor.
There you go. So click on the link below, or website that's scrolling across the bottom now. Maybe if I figured it out. Hopefully it's rolling across
I
now.
love our candid.
I'm just saying. You know how they say that? Just right. It's like, well, I got to figure that out. I'll ask my kids. They'll have it.
But I want to say too, the intimacy session was great. It really, so many couples said, I never got to ask that many questions to my spouse where I was able to hear each other. We were blindfolded to be able to not sneak over and look at somebody else talking.
Is that what you do?
I don't do that. Why would you say something like I would do that? I wouldn't do that.
So with the blindfold on, it did make you feel like it was just you and your
you
wife.
and your spouse. And we want to say that this was probably the largest. We had 148 couples. So that's 296. That was a lot of people. And they say it's going to grow. My God, today. Lord, help us, Jesus.
So, but it was good though.
Yeah.
The breakout session, I think we used to have it on Saturday.
Right.
We used to put it in between the speakers, which gave us kind of a time restraint. And every year, the men and some women too, I guess, would always complain that it wasn't long enough. We just got started, So we switched it this year, and put it on Friday in the afternoon, where we had more time, we were more relaxed, we weren't rushed, and I think that really was appreciated.
Because I think the men still said they felt rushed.
I don't know what to say about that. You give them an hour, they rush. You give them an hour and a half, they rush. If it was 30 minutes, they rush. I think, and I don't think a lot of women know this. Once men start opening up and start talking and asking questions, one, they kind of find out that they're not the only one in the room going through whatever it is. And we enjoy feedback. We enjoy talking about something. Women can just jump into a conversation about absolutely nothing and roll into something. Men kind of have to warm up and get there. Because I think that's just the way we made. There are some men who could talk to a rock and have a good conversation. I am not one of those men. I don't know how to talk about the weather in small talk. If we're talking about something good with a good topic, man, I roll with you all day. This one right here, right off the top, and you could tell. Look, have you heard her voice? She has a beautiful, just professional voice.
Thank you.
She really, really facilitates well. I'm just kind of,
I always wanted to have my own television show. And when I did Neesha's Network in the during the pandemic and just started interviewing people, shout out to Kenyatta Weaver who came up with Neesha's Network. I had came up with it, but she created the whole concept for me, and I would interview people, and I absolutely loved it, and I still love it. I wanted to be a journalist. A lot of people don't know why I love Oprah Winfrey. I just found it fascinating how started from the bottom, now I'm here.
We should interview some couples.
I think we will. I definitely want us to do that, but I want us to really kind of give a little recap and go back into the breakout session. And
because there were a lot of questions that
my
didn't get
Lord
answered
today.
So I actually kind of saved some of them.
I have
a bowl of just a few, and we're just gonna pick random.
Let me shake it up, baby. Shake it up, baby, now. Twist and shout.
So we're just gonna randomly pick some questions out, and we'll just take a stab at it.
Sure. Answer questions about marriage.
Sorry about that bowl clanging. I forgot.
Okay. How do I navigate finding time to recharge for myself and for my family?
Can I say this first?
Yes.
a lot of times when you get questions like this, it's easy to come up with an answer. Everybody's situation and background and history of it is different. So we're going to attempt to just really kind of
Give us our point of view.
what we think may be going on. So we're just going to give you the best.
Yes.
And if you have some different answers, man, put those in the chat. Make some comments. Let us know what you think.
So when I think about the word navigate, you have to really come up with a plan to what direction you want to go in. And I think that finding time to navigate. So you said, how do I navigate? First of all, you have to find some time. What does your time frame look like? And then what do you want to do to recharge? Because you can find the time and then you don't know what to do. So what do you want to do? First of all, create a schedule. Second of all, write a list of things that make you want to recharge. Because I could say recharging for me is going fishing. That may not be what you want to do. Or going to get a massage. That may be you going to Starbucks like my daughter and sit in the car and enjoy her Starbucks drink just because she's away from the 3 babies. And she thinks that that's the best thing since sliced bread. That's a little recharge. So, and then how much time do you need? Okay. It's important to let your spouse know that. So those are my ideas. Then you said for myself and then for my family. But first of all, there's some mental breaks that you need to take, but you have to really figure out what that looks like because nobody can figure that out for you. But then you do need to talk to your spouse and say, hey, I need some time. That's my opinion.
You know what I love about us, babe?
What?
When we get questions like this and we counsel couples, I think we get the same message downloaded to us. A lot of the times, we'll touch on it.
That's true.
And if you keep talking long enough, you'll always talk about what I'm going to say and vice versa.
You say
but in this question, I'm going to read it different. I'm going to read it again. How do I navigate finding time to recharge for myself and for my family? And I think if that person was here and they were asking that question, the first thing I would think is that they are, like you said, they're on overload. Mm-hmm. And they're at their limits. So it's not necessarily how do I navigate finding time to recharge. It's like I am being bombarded with life in general, with family, with everything. I am on overload. And I need a break. I need a mental break. And that's what I hear there. So if that is you and you need that mental break, first it needs to be shared and expressed. So that your husband understands. And if your kids are older, they need to understand. And then talk to a professional, of course, but find a way to get some of that stress off of you. Find a way to get some relief. Because I don't think it's so much about finding the time to recharge, but really just giving yourself that break. Because it sounds like you have a lot on you and you need a minute. That's what I kind of hear.
You know, I do agree with that wholeheartedly because burnout is real. But one of the things I want to say is, and I just spoke to one of our family members, children, AKA, about this, that we need to be intentional about knowing what season we're in and understanding exactly what our expectations are. Because if you don't know what your expectations are and your spouse definitely doesn't know, then you'll start taking out your overwhelmed, overstimulated, burnout on your spouse and on your family, not even intentionally. And it'll be like, what is going on? You know, what is the big deal? The big deal is that you haven't paid attention to your own levels of tolerance where you have burnt out. So therefore, everybody else is going to catch it. So be intentional saying, you know what? I realized that the last time I burnt out, I never took the time to recharge. So I know that this is what recharging looks like for me. So that I don't completely have a meltdown. Because I've had a few in the last couple weeks.
Are you speaking for real candidly?
Yes, you know I am. We sat in these same chairs and I was sitting there. He was sitting here and I just completely broke down crying and I must have let out a good 20 minutes nonstop talking about all the things that I was feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, blah, blah, blah. Wes was like, babe, that's a lot. I don't really know what to do with all of that. But the fact that he listened was a thing. And if you keep talking long enough, you'll figure out what you have to do. I went off. So I hope that helps.
No, that was on point. That wasn't off topic at all.
Okay.
Because what's your favorite? Well, our new favorite saying, and we got a T-shirt, so don't try to steal it.
My me affects our we. My me, it affects our we.
And it really does, because if your me is at the tipping point or the breaking point, it doesn't take much. It could take a pair of shoes being tripped over for the last time, and you jap out.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, or a simple question, or even a joke. Because sometimes we'll joke, and but even say something jokingly, and it'll just go completely left. It's like, babe, I was just joking.
But
take it down.
My joking thermometer was off because I wasn't in a space to joke because I was overwhelmed. But how was he supposed to know that if I normally joke about it? Perfect example. Next question. Pick one. Guess we won't be answering those.
Guess the Lord did. Oh my God, I would pick the longest question out of the whole bowl. Right. My husband and I came from different backgrounds. That is evident in how we've dealt with money. We got married in our 50s, and I have stuff. And we had a conversation that everything we came with would go to our children. But he has tried to flip the script and wants what I've accumulated before we got together. I want us to build something together. How should I approach this?
Dun, 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 dun.
So, that's a tricky question, especially with, I'm assuming blended family with different kids from previous relationships. I'm assuming that in this question. First, let's talk logistics, or what's legal, or whatever that word is goes in there. Assuming that both of you are not going to leave this earth at the same time, so whatever she has now belongs to me, unless I have specified it in a will or put something in trust that I want my kids to specifically have.
Your biological kids.
My biological kids. My suggestion, if you want your biological kids to have something that you've accumulated, then give it to them now. If that's what you think. That's my opinion.
That's a good thing.
Put it in a trust, put their name on it, give it to them now. I mean, if it's money or property, I don't know what it could be, but give it to them now. Share it with them now if that's what you want. Because it might have been something that you and your previous husband, he might have passed, or for whatever the reason, that you've accumulated, which deservingly right kind of goes to your kids. It's part of their inheritance.
Inheritance, right?
So give them their inheritance. But other than that, legally, everything goes to the husband.
Correct.
It does not divide up to the kids at that point. So who's ever the surviving spouse usually gets everything. Unless you specifically say, I want this to go to these kids. And then you can still make up a trust and a will and divide things up accordingly, so that if the both of you, God forbid, you're on an airplane and something drastic or terrible happens, how things need to be divided up. It needs to be written out. Those are legal things that, you absolutely have to have seen a lawyer and just get all your affairs in order.
Yeah.
Especially when we're getting old. Our city says we got married in our 50s. So I don't know if that means that they've been married for a while or this is new. I don't know. But man, get your affairs in order. That's something that should be talked about, not something that should be put on the back burner, and just we'll figure it out later type of deal.
And the other thing is that a lot of people have issues with prenuptial agreements and different things like that. But I think you really need to seek out wise counsel. And before you get married, or even after you get married, say, hey, let's have a conversation with a mediator to really talk about the things we need to talk about, and a legal mediator, like somebody that's a financial advisor, to say, hey, this is what we can offer you. Because a lot of times you don't know. And whereas, say for instance, me coming in saying, oh, I just want everything to be one, where the other spouse may say, and a lot of people try to figure this out. Well, let me just finish. The other spouse may say, no, I don't quite see it that way. A lot of people try to figure stuff out after they get married. Premarital counseling. If you are watching this and you are not married, premarital counseling, premarital financial wisdom and advice.
Those are the things you talk about before.
Those are the things you talk about before, even if it's your second marriage, third marriage, fourth marriage. It doesn't matter. I hope it's not the fourth marriage, but let me just say. But it will avoid you having the first, second, third, fourth marriage, unless you're a widow. I want to say, be intentional about seeking out wise counsel. We're not financial gurus, but we do believe in financial unity, and that's what we teach people. Are you on one accord? And if you're not on one accord, seek a financial advisor so you can get on one accord. But definitely have your affairs in order. Shout out to Talent and Ty, Pastor McNeely's, where he even said it today. I saw a social media post. I don't know if it was today or whatever. But it's like, get your affairs in order so you don't have to do a GoFundMe. You know, that when it's time to bury one of your loved ones. And that's just real talk. We have to be wise about our future, the known and the unknown.
Do you know, and I know this is off topic, but on a topic, that your kids, your teenagers, or even toddlers, you can get them a life insurance policy?
Life insurance and policy.
Insurance policy. You know what I'm trying to say.
Life insurance policy.
Thank you. That word. While they're young, and you can pay on it, and it's just a little bit of money because they're young.
We had them for our kids, yeah.
And not only that, you keep putting this money away, and then you can use this. I forgot what they call it. But anyway, you can actually borrow. Well, you can borrow against that money once it's matured. Borrow against it. Pay your own self-interest. It becomes a live bank for you, a real bank for you. But I mean, there are a whole lot of different ways. Find you somebody who knows about all this stuff, because obviously I am not it. But you can do that too. You don't always have to wait.
But for this question,
for that question,
seek out wise counsel. Seek out a financial advisor. Do not do it on your own and break up your marriage.
We won't take as long to answer this time.
Okay, I think it was good. Why my husband is so negative all the time? I just read it the way it was said, but yeah. I don't know why your husband's so negative all the time. I really don't. But I will say, if I had to counsel a couple that says, you know, my husband's so negative all the time, I would really want to understand why. We've counseled couples throughout the years, and even up until recently, where some spouses say, you know what, that's just the way I grew up. My family was negative. Or there may be something where they feel disappointed in themselves and just don't feel anything positive. Or I could give you a laundry list.
There are a lot of ors, because really, is it, what exactly does negative mean? What are you saying?
Facts.
Negative? Do you speak negative things to me, putting me down? Are you a negative Nancy by saying every time I come up with a good idea, you shoot it down and say, no, I don't think that'll work. No, I don't think we should do that. What does that mean?
Or are you giving me constructive criticism that I don't realize is negative? I'm just trying to encourage you to do better. But it comes out as negative.
Have the conversation, and the honest conversation. And it's not, why are you so negative? It's, babe, sometimes I feel like when you say, and be specific, sometimes I feel like when you say A, B, and C, it just sounds so negative all the time.
You're right.
What am I right about?
Right, the fact that that's what I have to say to you sometimes. Well, let me say why. Wes has managerial tones. So it's not always how you say it, what you say, but it's how you say it. Or, I just had this conversation today. Wes has become a professional husband. He always says he is. Because he says, now what does Neesha really want to hear? Does she want to hear the truth? Does she just want me to listen? Is she having a good day? Have I filled her love tank up to the best of my ability? Like, he's going through all the professional husband questions. which sometimes really work. But it could be that I'm having a bad day and what I heard sounded negative and it really wasn't negative. So there's a lot of answers. Thank you for thinking and being a professional husband to me. It doesn't mean he's perfect by any stretch of imagination, because sometimes I say, Wes, you think you just are perfect and it's all my fault. It's all my fault, Wes. I'm gonna let you have it.
So marriage 101, don't do that right there. That right there. Don't do that.
Don't be patronizing.
That is very patronizing. It's very patronizing. It shouldn't be patronizing. If you're going to let somebody have it, just let them have it. You don't have to announce that you're going to let them have it. Oh, you can just have it. Whatever you say. You got this. You got this.
No, it's me. It's me. It's me, not the problem. You're not the problem.
No,
I'm
good.
the problem.
I'm good. It's all good. Say it, baby. That's your favorite word.
It's all good, It's all good. Yeah. And me saying it's all good means I'm going to let you have it, because it's no point. That irritates you, doesn't it?
No, but it doesn't fix anything. You might as well just keep arguing.
You irritated.
I'm not irritated.
You are irritated when I say that.
I'm all good. All right. Next question.
Contemplato. How long does it really take for you to fully formulate a thought about an issue your spouse is having? Contemplators. You can't judge contemplators.
That is a hard question. I can't answer that.
Are you a contemplator?
I contemplate, yes I do.
Yes. You don't take very long though. You kind of straight shooter. Let me tell you something. Give people grace for what they have the grace for. What I mean by that is we took a life language test by Kinetic Life Languages and years ago. And it said that my first language was a responder. My second language was an influencer. Then my next language was a mover. Wes was a shaper, then a contemplator, and then a something else. I can't remember what it was. Do you remember? Mm-mm. Whatever the case may be, all of my highs were all of his lows, and all of his lows were all of my highs. Your spouse you married, you need to get to know them, and you need to take some Enneagrams or take some life language skill tests or take something that's gonna the DISC assessment. Take something that's gonna help you to understand who you married. And how do you do that? By you all filling it out and answering the questions honestly about who you are, what you like, what you think, and all of that. And then you have to pray for the grace, if you married them, where your personalities clash. Because a lot of people get married for the wrong reason, and then when they find out, oh my God, he's a competent, I just want an answer. But contemplators have to ask a bunch of questions, and they don't really know right away. They may take 3 days to process it. I'm like, let's move it, let's shake it, let's go. And so I say that to say that give grace for the giftings, because contemplators have value. Movers and shakers sometimes move too fast. So what I was saying is that all of his highs complement my lows, and they help me to grow. And God gave him to me. So therefore, it's sharpening me in some areas, and vice versa. What said? Remember what you said about, he was like, if some days nothing would get done if Neesha didn't move on it. Like if I get up and start painting and he sees that I'm painting wrong, he may have taken 6 years to paint, but then if I get up and paint, he's going to be like, you are doing that wrong. Let me go paint.
Let me tell y'all something, man. That is a manipulation that women have pulled on us for years. Don't be fooled by it.
Some men are just like,
let them go ahead and mess that wall up all by themselves. Let them hang up that 600-pound mirror with them toothpicks.
You know one thing. I just want to say something about that contemplator. He really is so gifted. Like, he started back doing his electrical contracting business, and he's been doing some more hands-on stuff. And let me tell you something. We've had ceiling fans sitting in boxes for like 3 and 5 years. We've had smoke detectors hanging out.
5 years?
And let me tell you something. It takes Wes 5 minutes to do something that's been sitting for 3 years. But I want to say I appreciate them 5 minutes. Tell that story about the cabinet in the laundry room.
I'm not contemplating about it though.
No, you actually.
It's the furthest thing from my mind.
Wes, tell about that cabinet.
I will, but I want to say this to my contemplators.
Yes.
It works both ways. If you're a contemplator and you need to formulate your thoughts, formulate them, let them know, and get back as soon as possible. Because those who are responders, you are suffering them and inflicting undue harm and pain by making them wait
Insulting
and not getting something resolved, because they need that resolved. And it's all you. They would have you kick and curse at them and knock them down, then you not to just say nothing and give the silent treatment, because that's the way responders are built. They need that answer. And what about the cabinet, babe? I was just speaking your love language.
You were speaking my love language, and I was like, wow. So Wes been talking about, we have cabinets in the laundry room, but it's like it's not enough or whatever the case may be. So we've had these same cabinets down in the basement for years. And one day I came home, walked through the garage, and those cabinets were up, and it was like, oh, it was like he was the best thing since sliced bread. I'm telling you, and I was so grateful. And it didn't. But acts of service is my love language.
One raggedy old cabinet.
But it's the fact that he considered me and he thought of doing it for me. It took a long time, but when it got done, it was probably the right time. Maybe I wouldn't have appreciated it 4 years before then.
There's got to be some counseling on that right there. Why did you say 4 years?
Okay, 3. Okay, come on. You want to answer another question?
Nope, it's time to go, babe. We've answered enough. Unless you want to do another question.
No, I think we'll save some for next time. But if you all have questions and you're watching this podcast, please by all means send them in. We're going to have some special guests on and some other
couples.
We'll
do a live show and answer questions live.
That would be a good idea.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes.
I need to think about it. I'm not as good as you off the top.
It's been fun, you guys. Be intentional about seeking out wise counsel if you need it. And we're here for you guys. Until next time, Heartstrings Podcast. Share and subscribe. Bye.
See you later.